Well, you know, one of the most popular baits right throughout the year is the Commodore Garden Squiddly Diddly, the squid there. It's catching tentacles, in case people didn't know, those two long ones there. They hold it, they shoot out, grab their prey, suck them back into here, and these other tentacles hold them and send them back to the beak where they mash it all up and it goes on the inside. That's how they catch their prey, with the long tentacles here, not the short ones. But what do we do in the UK with squid? We tend to make long strips, don't we? Do long strips, and everything's got to be streamlined, blah 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 blah. Now when I go abroad, do you know what they call it? They call it cut bait. They don't ever seem to strip bait like that, only when they're trolling on the surface. If they're going fishing for bottom with snappers and groupers and stuff like that, or the bottom feeding fish, which is pretty much the same as we have, they just use what's called cut bait. So easy to do. And I'll tell you what, the fish don't care, they really don't care, and it stays on a long time. All I do is this. It's just like when you have squid for food, you have squid rings. Right, so all I do, as I cut it off the head straight away, don't throw the head away, what I do is I nip those tentacles off, okay, throw them over the side, because if a fish is coming up the back, I find he's going to nibble away at those tentacles and give you a false bite. At least this way, with the main tentacles in here, your hook should be sitting in there, you've got a good chance of catching them. But for cut bait, look, all you need on a small hook is just this. It's just making literally like squid rings, but I leave the guts in there and I don't clean them or anything. That's made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baits there, and what I do is I go through them twice and I leave those bits of guts in there for a bit of smell. I've no idea what squid smells of. It must smell of something. It certainly smells when you leave it 2 days in the car in the sunshine, but I don't know what it smells like when it's fresh. That is a cut bait. Hook it twice, drop it down. It's just as good as streamlining the bait, and I'll tell you what, it lasts a lot longer as well. So by mixing these baits up, all I'm going to do, got a short shank wide gape live bait hook there. It's on a doubled little link, a single, I think it's an eagle claw, one bit rusty. I go in through the base of that squid and just leave it like this, just sitting there, and then I'm just going to whip that tag end up the front, just hold it up, because I don't want to drop it down and it masks that barb. I just want it left like that, so anything that grabs from the back should get that hook. Be hard pushed to miss it. And then of course the chunk bait is dead simple. You can use 1 or 2, just go once through here, leave all those guts in there, once through the back. You can leave it on a smaller single hook if you wanted, or you can just double up like this. Dead simple. Chunk baits are tough, durable, and they catch fish. Couldn't be any simpler. And here's one of those double hooks in action. And you know what? We've actually got 2 different species on this tandem rig here. They're not big. One is the inevitable D for dogfish, and the other, I'll get both in together, a small fallback ray. So that mouthful of fish slime, look, there's a really nice double there. Not big fish, look, we all fish dogfish. When you're having a tough day, running that tandem rig like that, just a 2 hook running ledger, but with the different baits, 1 different bait on each, really can bring your bonus fish there. Nice thornback ray, little male, and a dogfish. I'll get them back. And of course you can switch baits as well. You can put, you know, squid on this one, and you know, down you can put worm, or you can change to mackerel, and it just vary it up, and then you can see 2 different baits, 2 different species. It's all totally awesome. Now here's something else. This sort of true, but yet I still find it a bit bizarre. Shallow water, the noise of the boat making, you know, vibrations on the anchor rope or slapping on the hull leaves footprint. Now, if I keep quiet for about 15 seconds, that's a rarity, you should be able to hear slapping of the boat. Listen. Now, it's quite noisy even from up here. It's because the Wilson Fly is a cathedral hull, and with the tide creating the waves coming under the bow, under those tunnels, it does slaps like this. So what I'm doing is I'm casting further away from the boat to get away from the footprint, so hopefully it doesn't disturb the fish, because I'm in about, not deep, I'm about 40 feet of water here. But then all the bites I've had have been using one of these.
And holding a jet flame lighter makes an ideal Heston Blumenthal doll.
How does that work? I
I
always take a little radio with me. I can have a groove, bit of a chill out time, and if you're on your own, it just about keeps you sane. But it's weird, isn't it? I've had the radio going, I've had bites. Turn the radio off, I've got the slapping of the hull, I don't get bites. Well, I'm going to leave the radio on. Oh no, this is suicidal. I can't take it anymore. It's only been pouting all day in dogfish. Oh, whoa, there we go. I like to just, he says falling over, I like just like to spool back a little bit when I get a bite. He's still there, could be a doggy, could be anything. Give him a bit of line, just let it come off the spool like this. Give him a bit of slack. That way he's got time to turn it and eat it, and he's not pulling on the lead too much. I think he's still there. Tell you what, just take a gamble and strike it anyway. Might get lucky. Fish on, guys. Right, it's another ray. Probably a thornback. It's only an undulate. Get in. I do like this trying different baits business. Here he comes. This was fish bait, which undulates, being a pretty predatory fish. There we go. Being a pretty predatory one, and a pretty fish anyway. There we go. Really nice one. And look, mackerel. You can see that mackerel, piece of mackerel there. Straight on that, because they just love other fish. Of course they do eat, you know, shrimps, crustaceans, crabs, everything else. But to be honest, they do love fish baits. Let's get the hook out. Another little tip, guys. You look like I'm fishing alone today. These are slimy little chappies. Just make sure, you can doubtless hear the boats pitch about a little bit, that you mop this up with a rag, because you do not want to slip on it, especially when you're on your own. That's why, hence buoyancy aid and all that. There's a lovely little fish there. Just shows you, keep changing those baits. While I'm waiting for a bite to come along, just thought I'd mention, I've only recently done this, but I've got down here, obviously I built this shelving in the Wilson Fly. It doesn't come with anything. This is dead handy, this shelving, for piling ropes, anything, my T-bar from a shark disgorging, my tags and stuff like that. I just got an old plastic holster that took a screwdriver set, screw that on there, and I can put my pliers and or your knife in there, because where I fish alone quite a bit, you do need to have a knife handy somewhere, say, in case something bizarre happens, you know, catch a fish and want to slash my wrist. You might get tangled up in the back with a rope. You need to cut it quickly. You might be on the bow, you might be down here, you might get tangled up in anything, you need a rope around. So I'm going to put a second one down there. I haven't got the holster yet to put it, but I'll tell you what else I've done. For unhooking fish, a pair of pliers. Okay, nothing new there, regular pair of pliers, but look at the handles. I've extended them and bent them out using just a piece of chrome tubing, so that it gives me a much bigger, not so much leverage, but it enables me to get right down the throat if I've got a deep hook fish, turn it over and get the hook out. And another thing I want to tell you, you can actually, because some of the hooks the barbs have on those hooks are a bit fierce, why not just crush them down? You'll find you lose very, very few fish if you crush the barbs, and it's so easy to get out, less damage to the fish. And let's face it, we're all putting our sea fish back more and more nowadays. We take less and less, hopefully the rod and line guys do anyway. Don't kill everything, put it back, but you want to put it back, you know, at least in pretty good nick. Use these pliers, just crush that barb a little bit. You can unhook them and let them go. So get yourself an extendable, make yourself up an extendable pair of plier handles there. You probably have to bend them out like that, you know, otherwise, because they curve in at the end, traditionally pliers, they would meet there and they wouldn't be much good. So I've got about 4 or 5 inches extra there. And where are they? Right there. Fishing alone, I'm just going to reach back and grab them. Just another totally awesome fishing tip. Yeah, we're in again. I've got it on the up tider, cast down tide. Does that make sense? There must be something wrong with people that do that, mustn't there? They get a down tiding rod and then cast it like 45 yards, even 46 yards behind the boat. So that one was another bait switch. So I've got just about what they call in America smorgasbord, I think they call it. Real mixture of baits out there. Heads, tails, bits of whiting, and it is the proverbial dogfish. Oh. Now these guys, as you know, they eat pretty much anything, so they don't sort of tell you. What they do tell you is that if there's a dogfish out there feeding, there could well be something else out there. And one for kids. If you want to unhook them without having them rasp all up your arms, hold the tail first, just bend it round and pinch the head at the same time like that, so you can't do anything, and then use either your fingers or a pair of pliers, pop the hook out, keep him curled up like that. See, I'm holding with the tail and the head, otherwise as soon as I let go of the tail, he's going to want to wrap, ow, right around my hand, ow, and scratch me. Put him back, nasty creature. Ah, he's got me now. Help! Help! There could be a monster YouTube here! Ah! Sad, isn't it, being in a boat on your own? See what happens to your mind? Can you see what happens? No one and nobody goes fishing with me. Whoa, 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 here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Better sit down for this one, ladies. Fish on. Fish on. It shows you just switching baits, multi-baits. I can't even remember what bait this one was on, but it's on, and that's all that matters. Had a few fish on this 12-pound glass rod. It's been pretty good actually, can't grumble at all. Not surprised if it gets sailfish. It's catching me sailfish and wahoo and tunas. It's hardly going to be bothered by something swanning around off the eastern white. Let's see what this one is. I'm slightly overpowered with the reels because basically I just put this little film together. I was out fishing for thresher sharks off Dunno's Head on the Isle of Wight, and I thought, you know what, once that tide's died, taking the chum past Dunno's, there wasn't any chance of a thresher, so I came inside and thought, I'll just try those small baits, mixing them all up for this film, see if I can do something. Do you know what? I think it's been lucky. Not so lucky with the thresher sharks, but that's another story. I don't think this is a doggy. Heck is it? It is, yes sir, a thornback ray. Not a big one, as is the case here. Notice the size seems to be dropping on the old thornbacks, sort of nationally. But do I care? The answer is no. And he is absolutely covered it in thorns. It just goes to show you, mixing those baits up, hope you watch those rigs, gives you an idea. You know, if you just fish with that down tide 2-hook trace and put a different bait on each one, keep switching, keep changing, and then you can home in on whichever ones they're going to take. And in this case, as you can see, it's the squid. It gives me a chance to use my pliers from the holster. Excusez-moi. Uno momento. Speaks bilingual as well. See, I've got my pliers there. I don't need them in this case because it's long nose. Now, with thornback rays, look, there's spines everywhere. Just in here, in the cheek area, there's a little slot. Do not get them in their mouth. Please do not get in their mouth. It gives you a good gripping point, and then using these pliers, pop, hooks out. How easy was that, folks? And there I can hold that fish, won't hurt me at all. A nice thornback ray. Not a monster, but you know what? Better than catching nothing. It's better than catching no thresher sharks. I can't believe I didn't get one, but there you go. Caught them before, so it's not. Tune in next time for more tips on the Totally Awesome Fishing Show.